Welcome to Finger Lake Stories. This video documents a Native American stone pile found in the Finger Lakes area of New York, just outside of Rushville. There are hundreds of these stone piles hidden in the woods, and they are evidence of the mound building culture that lived in the Finger Lakes many years ago. Let's take a walk. The stone pile we will look at is visible from Valley View Road. I'm crossing a cultivated field to the edge of the woods. The stone pile is on the edge of a gully. You might ask, how do I know it's Native American? Well, in truth, I don't know for sure, but I've seen hundreds of these that look exactly the same. There are different types of stone piles that the Native Americans left here. Some of them are much more constructed, built up. Of course, you don't know what this looked like 2,000 years ago. Trees have been falling on it, animals have been walking across it, farmers have thrown things on top of them, and they've knocked them down quite a bit. I would call this stone pile a heap. It has obvious stacking around the bottom edge of it, and it's very circular. I see a lot of these. Others are more of a platform built up, the stacking much more prevalent all the way through. And others still are rectangular. Some even have circular shapes attached to a rectangle. And then there are cone-shaped stone piles. You might ask yourself, how do I know that a farmer didn't do this clearing their field? And I've discussed this in other videos, but farmers tended to throw the stones on a stone boat or a hay wagon, take them to the edge of their property or the edge of a gully, and get rid of them where they're not going to be in the way again, unless they were using them for a stone wall or a foundation. They wouldn't stack the stones up in a big pile. I don't think they would spend the time stacking the stones. And it's hard to see that in this video with the snow on the stone pile and the sticks and stuff, but you can tell that that was done here. And on other stone piles, it's much more obvious. So if these are Native American stone piles, you might ask yourself, why haven't I heard of this before? And that's a whole nother topic. The Native American history of our land that we live on is just barely touched in history classes. I think that's kind of a tragedy, and I've talked about that before as well. But there is documented evidence from the pioneers that these stone piles were here. It's kind of been forgotten over time, but it's there in the old local history books and in the archaeological books that were put together in the 1800s. So as I do these videos, I'm going to try to collect a couple of these videos to document this stuff in Yates County. I'd like to do one reading in each video of a documented stone pile. So I'm going to start with this. This is from William Beauchamp's Aboriginal Occupation of New York. It was published around 1900. This is from Dansville, New York. Before the Revolution, according to tradition, a battle took place on a hill a few miles distance between the Canastillo Indians and those living in this vicinity, during which a chief of the latter was killed. When the whites first settled here, the spot where he fell was marked with a large hole dug in the earth in the shape of a man with his arms extended. An Indian trail led by the place, and the Indians on passing were accustomed to clear away the dry leaves which had blown in. This chief was buried in an old Indian burial ground which stood on the site of the present Lutheran church, which was thickly covered with graves to the extent of 2 or 3 acres. His monument consisted of a large pile of small stones gathered from time to time by the natives from a hill a distant mile, who on passing were accustomed to take in their hand and add to the heap. So there you go. Farmer stone pile, Native American stone pile. I'm going to vote for the Native Americans. I have more information on similar sites like this all throughout the Finger Lakes. There's a large concentration of these in Hightor above Naples. And I'll put that links to those videos and videos of other places where stone piles like this exist in the comments section for this video. Please feel free to leave a comment, tell me what you think, or get in touch with me if you've seen anything like this in your area. Thanks for watching.